All right, we just did the sign conversion because these are introductory class that you need to know as a science student. We just did sign conversion. When you have two the same sign, you add the numbers, then the sign you see there, you put it at the back of the answer. That's why you say 5 plus 2 is 7, because 5 has plus 5 plus 2, 7, which is plus 7. Minus 5 minus 2, minus 7. You add the two numbers, then the sign you see there, you put it at the back of the answer. Now, when it is different signs, like minus 5 plus 2, as we know now that you subtract the smaller number from the bigger number, 5 minus 2, that gives you 3. Then the sign behind the bigger number, you put it at the back of the answer. The sign behind the bigger number is minus, because minus at the back of 5. So you now put minus in here. So minus 5 plus 2 will now become minus 3, and so on and so forth. So, but now we want to look at another area again, which we call the divisibility rules. Now, why you need to know this rule? There are some examination body that does not require the use of calculator. And what do you do in such circumstances? For you to now start trying to know the numbers that will divide the number, wasting your time. So that is why I am giving these rules. So you need to know this rule because it's going to help you. So that not number that 6 can divide directly, you want to use 2. Or number that 7 can divide directly, you'll not be cracking your head. Can 7, oh, 7 cannot divide, 2 cannot divide, 3 cannot divide, 4 cannot, 7 cannot. You don't even know whether 7 can divide it. You just say cannot. You just be wasting your time. So that is why these rules are necessary. So now let's begin. Now, the first one now is divisibility by 2. Now, how do you know when 2 can divide a number? Now, 2 can divide a number if the last digit is either 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. If the number is either 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. So if the last digit is any of this number, then 2 can divide that number, no matter how long is that digit. So let's say I have 5, 4, 3, 7, 8, 0. Know that because of this, 2 can divide. Even with this, 2 can still divide because 8 is there. But if the last digit is not any of these, then 2 cannot divide it. So take note. So as it is now, 2 can divide this number because 2 can divide the last digit. The last digit is even. So if the last digit is even, that is even including 0, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, then 2 can divide that number. Now, how do you know when 2 can divide 3? When a number can be divided by 3. Now, a number is divided by 3 if the sum of its digits is divisible by 3. Let's say, for instance, I have 4, 5, 6, 456. Now, if you add this number, 4 plus 5 plus 6, if the results cannot be divided by 3, then 3 cannot divide it. Let's add. 4 plus 5 is 9. 9 plus 6 is 15. And 3 can divide 15. Since 3 can divide 15, it means 3 can divide this number without remainder. So note that 3 can divide the number if the sum of its digits is divisible by 3. Is that clear? All right. Now, how do you now know if a number is divisible by 4? A number is divisible by 4 if the last two digits is divisible by 4. If the last two digits of that number is divided by 4, then know that 4 can divide that number. For example, now if I have 9, 7, 3, 8, 4, 2, 4. Look at this. These last two digits, 4 can divide the last two digits, because if 4 divided 24 is 6, it means that 4 can divide this entire number. Instead of trying to go and use 2, small, because you have 4 here now, and you that's okay. 2 can go, because 4 is among this number, and that's it. 2 can, that will waste your time. So 4 can divide this entire number without going through 2 first, as long as 4 can divide these last two digits. Is that clear? All right. So that is for a number divisible by 4. What about 5? How do you know when 5 can divide a number? That one is simple, right? 5 can divide a number if the last digit is either 0 or 5. If the last digit of that number is 0 or 5, then uh, 5 can divide it. Let's say, for instance, now, like this same number, if 0 is here now, it means 5 can divide this number. Or if 5 is here now, it means 5 can divide this entire number. So if the last digit is either 0 or 5, then 5 can divide the number. All right. Now, how do you know when the number is divided by 6? Yes, a number is divisible by 6 if that number can be divided by 2 and can also be divided by 3. And you already know when 2 can divide a number, that the last digit must be even number or 0. And you already know when 3 can divide a number, that if the sum of the digit is divided by 3, then 3 can divide it. So if a particular number, 2 can divide that same number, and 3 can divide that same number, then just know that 6 can divide the number directly. For instance, let's say I have 4, 5, 6. Look at these digits. Add this, 2 can divide this number because this last digit here is even number. So 2 can divide 456. At the same time, if we add 4 plus 5, 9, 9 plus 6, 15, and 3 can also divide this, it means 2 can divide this number, 3 can also divide this number. And because of that, don't just waste your time using 2 and then using 3. Know that 6 can divide this number. Because if 6 divides 42, this 45, that is 7. Gives you 42 remaining 3 into 36, that is 6. So your answer is 76. Because 6 divided 36 is 6. So you can see that 6 can just divide this number directly than to say you want to use 2 first or use 3 first. So note that 6 can divide the number if 2 and 3 can divide that number. Now, 7. How do you know when 7 can divide a number? All right. 7 can divide a number by, how do you know? Just take the last digit, double the last digit. After you have doubled the last digit, subtract it from the remaining digit. If the answer you will get is divisible by 7, then 7 can divide that number. Oh yes, then 7 can divide number. Let us try. Let us try number like 4, 4, 7, 6. 4, 7, 6. Remember the rules for 7. What do we say? We say remove the last digit. If you remove the last digit, what you are now having is 47. This last digit is 6. Double this last digit. Double this last digit means 6 times 2 or 6 plus 6. Okay? That is double it. That will be 12. Now this 12, now subtract it from this remaining number that is here now, 47. So if you subtract 12, that will now give you what? Here will be 5. Here will be what? 3. And 7 can divide 35. 7 divided 35 is 5. It means 7 can divide 476. Sharp, right? 7 can divide 476. So remember again, how do you know when 7 can divide a number? Remove the last digit, double that last digit, then subtract it from the remaining digit. If the value you get is divisible by 7, then 7 can divide that number. Shikena. All right. So, how do you know when 8 can divide a number? 8 can divide a number if the last 3 digits is divisible by 8. 8 can divide a number if the last 3 digits is divisible by 8. So let's see number like that example. Let's say I have Okay. Let's say, let me use 9, 7, 3, 8, 4. So let's look at these digits, this number. How do we know if 8 can divide number? Not just the last digit. Don't look at the last digit because this is 8. No. Sometimes 8 can be here and 8 cannot divide that number. So it is the last 3 digits. If the last 3 digits is divisible by 8, then 8 can divide the entire number. So let's try this last 3 digits. 8 divided 64 is 8. 8 divided 8 is 1. So this last digit is divisible by 8. So it means 8 can divide this entire number. 8 can divide the entire number. So that is how you know when 8 can divide a number. Okay? How do you know when 9 can divide a number? How do you know when 9 can divide a number? All right. 9 can divide a number if the sum of its digits is divisible by 9. 9 can divide a number if the sum of its digit is divisible by 9. Let's say, let me take that number for, okay, if the sum of its digit is divisible by 9, let's say 279. Let's add. So 2 plus 7 is 9, plus 9 is 18. And 9 can divide 18 with time. Now the number can be long. Just know that, just add the number. If the sum is divisible by 9, then 9 can divide that number. All right. Now, how do you know if 10 can divide a number? Of course, 10 can divide a number if the last digit is divisible by, if the last digit is 0, then 10 can divide that number. That one is not a problem. All right. So let me clean the board and look at the other two. All right. So let's continue. Let's continue. How do you know when level can divide a number? We just did 10, right? Yes. With 10 can divide a number if the last digit is divisible by 0. Now, how do you know if level can divide a number? All right. Okay, 11 can divide a number if the sum of its digits in the odd places minus the sum of its digits in the even places gives you 0 or is divisible by 11, then 11 can divide that number. Let's get an example of what I'm trying to say. Let's get a number that we'll use there. All right, let's try 9174. 9174. 9174. How do we know whether level can divide this number? Like I said, add the sum of the odd places. When I mean odd places, this is odd. This is odd. 1, 2, even. 1, 2, 3. 1 is odd. 3 is odd. 2 is even. 4 is even. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 digits. So these are the even. These are the odd. So we are going to add the odd number. If you add the odd number, 9 plus 7 is 16. Then minus, you will now add the even number. 1 plus 4 is 5. If you now subtract, if your answer is either 0 or the number is divisible by 11, the number is 11, whether 0 or 11, then know that 11 can divide that number. So the number will give you either 0 or 11, then know that 11 can divide that number. So let's see, 16 minus 5 give you 11. So it means that 11 can divide this number without thinking too much. So remember what I just said. How do you know when 11 can divide a number? Take, add the number in the odd places and the numbers in the even places. Then subtract the even place from the odd place. If your result is 0 or 11, then 11 can divide that number. So 11 can divide this number without thinking too much. Okay? All right. Now, how do you know when 12 can divide a number? All right. 12 can divide a number if 3 and 4 can divide that number. 12 can divide the number if 3 and 4 can divide that number. And how do you know? You already know when 3 can divide a number. 3 can divide a number if the sum of its digits is divided by 3. 4 can divide the number if the last two digits is divisible by 4. So 4 can divide that number. So it means that if a particular number, 3 and 4 can divide it, then 12 can divide it. Let's get a particular number. Let's see. Let me try to get a number of such. Okay, let's see. Let me see. Um, all right, let's see this number. 2424, 2424. I believe, yeah, this one we do what I'm explaining. Now, how do you know whether 12 can divide this number? I will say, check if 3 can divide and 4 can also divide. Remember, 3 can divide if the sum is divided by 3. 2 plus 4 is 6. 6 plus 2 is 8. 8 plus 4 is 12. And 3 can divide 12. Means 3 can divide this number. How do you know when 4 can divide the number? If the last two digits is divided by 2. So it's divided by 4. So 24 is divided by 4. It means 4 can divide this number. So 3 and 4 can divide. So 12 can divide this number. So once 3 and 4 can divide the number, then 12 can divide that number. Okay? Now, how do you know when 13 can divide the number? All right, 13 can divide the number by just delete the last digit from the number. When you delete the last digit from the number, multiply that last digit by 4. The result that you are going to get, add it to the remaining digits. If 13 can divide what you have, then 13 can divide that number. Let's see a number of such. Okay, let's say 13, 13. Let's say 3, 5, 1. 351. Let's see 351. 351. Yeah. So, like I said, how do you know when 13 can divide by? Delete the last digit. You will now be left with 35. The last digit is 1. Delete it. Then multiply this 1 by 4. If you multiply the 1 by 4, what are you going to get is 4. That number now, add it to the remaining digits. So it will now be 35 plus 4. And if you do 35 plus 4, it will give you what? 39. And if you divide 39 by 13, you are going to get what? 3. So it means 13 can divide this number. And so on and so forth. We and take them up to 20. Number that 14 can divide, 15 can divide, 16 can divide, 17 can divide, 18 can divide, 19 can divide, and even 20. So these are some of the divisibility rules. I hope you find it interesting. So don't forget to always follow me and follow the teaching. Make sure you revise it. It's very important. Thank you for watching.